Hello everybody, thank you for joining me on another episode. Today we are reviewing Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Of course we're going to review this movie. It was amazing to say the least. Incredible. There's not one word that I can use to describe this movie. People have asked me, I just don't know how to describe it. It makes you think, it makes you want more. It's an incredible work of art. Every frame, as everybody has said, is a masterpiece. The animation is just, it's a godsend. It's so great. I mean, I cannot get over this movie. Definitely one of the favorites. Can't wait to talk about it. So let's go right now. Also, do you guys really think I was going to do this the day after it released? Come on. Not like all those other critics. In fact, nah. I'm going to do my own thing. Uh-oh. Alright everyone, let's do this one more time. Actually, we're going to do this another time in March of next year when this next movie comes out, because this is only a part 2 of a trilogy, of a 3-part series of movies of Spider-Man. I cannot. How many I was listening to a podcast the other day. Someone brought up the fact that there have been 3 or 4 Spider-Man trilogies in the past 25 years. That is insane for Spider-Man fans such as myself. Wow, I'm in heaven. Okay, alright, listen. This movie, as I said before, is incredible. There are so many different nuances, different animation styles, different character development, different plot points. I cannot get over how much they stuffed into this movie. However, they still made this movie just so great and just felt like it was such a cohesive story. Shameik Moore probably is one of my favorite Spider-Man actors. I mean, I get it, he's not live action, but the way that he voices Miles, the way that he embodies Miles without being there in person on screen, it's amazing. It's just incredible the work that he does. And of course, Hailee Steinfeld as Gwen Stacy, perfect casting. I mean, I can't even tell it's her half the time. She does such a great job, and you gotta love hearing her every time she comes on screen. Of course, you got Jake Johnson as Peter B. Parker, which is like one of the greatest Spider-Man ever. He's such a great embodiment, and he's a dad in this one, just like me. Come on. It's like, I relate to this guy so much. It's great. Oscar Isaac is Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. Honestly, I think he's my favorite character in the movie, and people will not like me for that comment, but that's okay, because he's like a Thanos, if you really think about it. His without giving it away, his mission in this movie is very similar to how Thanos saw his mission in Avengers Infinity War. So I love it. He's great. Oscar Isaac does an amazing job. The last actor I'm going to shout out for now is Daniel Kaluuya playing Hobie Brown, Spider-Punk. Wow. I thought I was going to hate this character at the beginning of the movie, and I ended up loving him. He's like my second favorite character. Of course, you got Miles, but he's like by default just the main guy. But in terms of new characters, Oscar Isaac's Miguel O'Hara and Daniel Kaluuya's Hobie Brown, man, top tier, great cast, great talent. It's awesome. Alright, I've talked about the casting, I've talked about the actors, but let's talk about the animation. They go into so many different worlds in this movie, as of course you could probably gather from the title, Across the Spider-Verse. And every single universe, as you probably expect, has its own animation style. The way they did Gwen Stacy's, what you've seen in the trailers, and you won't know until you actually see the movie, but the way that they do her world, it's so accurate and representative of the comic itself because of the colors, the way the style is. It's great. Anytime you bring comic accurate elements to the screen, it's a win. Okay, for any comic book fan, it's a win. The way that they portray 2099, the fact that there's an above ground and an underground. The underground is one I'm more used to. There might be an above ground in the comics, but the underground where it's super, just like dark blues, dark oranges, or bright oranges, I should say. But that all comes together in this representation of the character, and it's awesome. I loved seeing how close they try to get to the actual comic book characters themselves, and it really just adds that little bit of detail that fans such as myself can really appreciate. Going into this, you have no idea what the story is going to be about. There's a million different things that the trailer can give you as far as ideas go, but what it's actually about, where it ends up, is completely different. And while the plot may be a reused, recycled plot point, it works so well within this universe, within this character story of Miles. And what it ends up doing is just really delivering on a whole new level because of where we end up at the end, how it's being portrayed, and then how Miles as a character is dealing with this. Now, you know me, well, if you don't, you will know, character development is one of the biggest plot points or elements of a film that I look for. Gwen Stacy carries a lot of it in this movie, but I have a feeling that after the next movie, we're going to see that character development of Miles from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse all the way up to the third one, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. And I cannot wait to see it. Miles is such an amazing character. The fact that they're even making a movie about him or with him as the main protagonist is incredible. Now, this movie kind of has two villains. You can really call them more as antagonists. You have the Spot, which is shown in the trailers when he's in the grocery store or the convenience store, which is a really funny scene, by the way. But then you have Oscar Isaac's Miguel O'Hara, who acts more as an antagonist than really a villain. So kind of get the idea that Miles is kind of going up against Miguel, and you kind of see that in the trailers too when you see all the spider people following Miles. Speaking of spider people, wow, are there a lot of spider people in this movie. It was great. I loved seeing all of them. My favorite one, of course, I got to see Superior Spider-Man, which is Dr. Octopus in Peter Parker's body, and that was just a whole big mess, which was great. But yeah, we saw a lot of spider people, and it was awesome. My wife and daughter were very confused, and they were asking me questions about all the different spider people, and I was thrilled to enlighten them on the different types. We saw Ben Reilly, which you kind of could have expected that, and he played a role. You know, he was there. He was a major player. Maybe not super much into the role as far as furthering the plot, but he's definitely there, and you'll notice him. One thing I want to say, this movie, yeah, it's a full 2 hour, 20-minute movie. However, I'm looking at it as this is two movies combined into one, just with the way that the story works. And this is not at all any kind of bash on the movie or anything like that, because I think it actually works in favor of the film. But it really feels like you can feel that separation, which is totally fine. And that if that's how they wanted to do it, I don't think that that's their intention as far as the directors go, but that's how I take it, and that's how I kind of look at it. I definitely want to see this movie again, preferably before it comes out of theaters, just to get that sense of, okay, this is going to happen because of this, and I already know what's coming. It's kind of easy to piece together. First time around, there's a lot that happens, which is not a bad thing. Like I said in the beginning, while there's so much stuffed into this film, they work it out so well, and they really massage all of the minute details back into the plot point and make it a very cohesive ending, while also getting us prepared for the next film, which comes out March 29th, 2024, which is also really a very quick turnaround in my opinion. I saw an interview that said Haley Steinfeld hasn't even recorded any of the lines yet, which is what? Okay, but I'm not the filmmaker, I'm not the director. It's okay. They'll get it done, and I gotta have faith, right? Overall, the way that they really play these characters against each other and play them with each other, they mesh brilliantly. You can see where these characters collide and where they come together. Regardless of where the story goes, everybody has their place, everybody has their purpose, and that's some great storytelling right there. I can't say too much without going into spoilers, of course, but take my word for it, you want to see this movie in theaters. Well, yes, there's a lot that happens, and you definitely want to be able to capture all of those moments for yourself. The theatrical experience really, really helps this movie as far as seeing it on the bigger screen with the immersive feeling of being within the movie itself without being distracted by cell phones or whatever distractions may lay around your house. So this is definitely one that you want to catch in theaters. With that being said, guys, don't forget to check out Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, out now in theaters. Go check it out. Definitely worth the watch. Also, make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the support. If you guys have a comment or an opinion about this movie, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this. If you guys didn't like it, that's fine. In my opinion, I think this is one of the best movies of the year so far. Probably will be my favorite movie of the year, and probably will be my favorite comic book movie of the year as well. Spider-Man. I mean, I will not stop praising this movie, and I cannot wait for the next one. So please, leave your comments below. Let's talk about it. If you agree, great. Let me know. If you disagree, let me know. Anyways, thank you, everybody. Hope you have an awesome day, night, whatever time of day it is for you. And remember to be nice to each other. See you later. Let's do this one last time. Alright, you guys can get one last flip. Haha, I did it.